Little technical difficulties to start the day here.
Nothing we can't overcome.
All right, questions. Let's start with Jerry Thompson from Ducks Illustrated.
Yeah, Coach, do you think there's some advantage now being upstairs, and that outweigh maybe the positives of being down on the field? Or how do you evaluate that experience for you in the last two games?
Kind of like riding a bike. I think there's probably advantages to both. Up top, you get to see it a little bit more. Environment is sterile, takes the emotion out of it. Down on the field, you get eye-to-eye contact with the players. You're able to motivate them. There are certainly things that you can see on the field that you can't see up in the booth. So I think it's been good, and keeps me from getting run over on the sideline too. So that's another bonus advantage.
Alvaro Torres, in zoners.
Hi, Coach.
Hello.
Were you able to talk with Ty Thompson after his interception and how to work on those kind of mistakes? And how important was it for you to take advantage of that big lead and give him those snaps?
Yeah, not just for Ty, but for a lot of the young guys to get in there and garner some invaluable game experience. I think you saw a lot of production from Byron and Seven, and seeing Troy catch a touchdown and the young tight ends. But he made a good throw on the one short route. Underthrew Dante a little bit on the deep one, and then just needed to keep going through his progression on the one that he threw the interception. Either throw it ahead of the guy or keep going through his progression. So, first game experience against a 1A opponent and a conference opponent. So something he'll learn from and from which he'll improve.
Matt Preem, 247 Sports.
Joe, about a month ago, you said the goal was about a 65% completion percentage, and Anthony last 4 weeks has gotten better and better each game. And last week or against Colorado, it was 80%. Just where do you feel like that improvement has come to see such a big increase week after week and culminating in a performance like Saturday?
Yeah, even though AB's played a lot of football, has a lot of experience at this level, has played in a lot of games, it is still technically his first full year as a starter in this offensive system. And, certainly there's a lot of moving parts around him, and, 3 successful components of the pass game, the protection, the route and the throw. And I think as the season has progressed, he's grown more and more comfortable with all those things, including the offense. And, we're seeing, nice, steady improvement. So hopefully that continues, moving forward through these last 4 regular season games.
Eric Scopel, 247 Sports.
Coach, just your assessments of the offense as a whole there, especially the first string. Every time they were on the field, Anthony led them to points, whether it be touchdowns or field goals. Just, I know you mentioned, I think 7 or 8 things you try to check off each game. I assume most of those you accomplished on Saturday.
Yeah, our goals that we review on Sunday, didn't win the turnover battle, which were 50% of that, and then we didn't win the fourth quarter. Those are the 2 things that we didn't accomplish. But I feel we put a solid game plan together. The kids did an excellent job during the week in the preparation phase, making sure that they were earning the right to take the field with confidence, and, talk to them, every week about playing with, fanatical effort and surgical precision. And I thought we came out in the run game and the pass game, the protection, all those things clicked and came together, and, we were able to, move the ball and put points on the board.
Eric Scopel, 247 Sports.
I guess I'll ask another one. Coach, just TJ Bass's strides and kind of him at left tackle, how that's been maybe a good fit after he's playing guard the last couple of weeks and actually last season as well.
You talk about TJ, I'm sorry, I didn't catch the first part.
Yeah, TJ Bass.
Yeah. I think he's a natural fit at tackle, just because of his athleticism, particularly against the type of pass rushers we see in this conference. And I think George is a good fit inside, big, strong, physical guy, matched up against the, 3 techniques and shades. And, I think we've talked about before the excellent job that Coach Mirabal does throughout the course of the week, cross-training the guys. So during practice, it's not always the same 5 out there. They're not always in the same position. So when something happens like Alex Forsythe going down in pregame, Ryan Walk slides over to center, and, it's not completely foreign to him. So, TJ's done a real nice job. George has done a nice job, moving inside, and certainly Ryan and the other guys, filling in. It's been a nice, nice job by those guys, throughout the past few games.
Aaron Heisen, Daily Emerald.
Coach Byron came out on the first drive and had 3 big carries. I guess those were unscripted plays. What are some things that he's been doing to like earn that raw responsibility in practice?
Yeah, I think, it all comes back to, talent and preparation and practice. And Coach Mastro has a very keen eye for what the guys do well in the correct situations to put them in the game relative to the plays that we call. And, Byron got his opportunity. It was planned for him to go in on that drive, and, Line did a real nice job blocking, and we were able to, create some numbers and some angles in the run game. And, he took care of the rest.
Zach Neal, Ducks Wire.
Coach, we've seen what he's done on the field, but I'm curious if you've seen a change in the demeanor of Anthony over the past few weeks that he's now had continued success in the offense.
Have I seen a change in his demeanor? Is that what you said?
Correct.
To be honest, that's one of the things I like best about Anthony, that you don't see much of a change in his demeanor. And sometimes we talk about it being a little too even keeled, that, you don't want him to be a quarterback position to be out of control with his emotions, but you don't want him to be void of emotion either. So I think the one aspect that I've seen from Anthony is he doesn't lack confidence, but you can see it growing because of his performance. And I think you could ask his teammates that guys look to him for leadership. So I think the biggest thing from an emotional standpoint that we've seen the past 3 weeks is, continuing to build his confidence. And I think he's exhibited good leadership in important moments in big games.
James Capilla, the Oregonian.
Joe Mario was just saying how Travis is as valuable to you guys as any player is to their team in the country. Over the month of October, especially when CJ goes down, he averaged, by way of yards from scrimmage, over 21 touches and over 136 yards and 2 touchdowns a game. Those are very Saquon-like numbers, and he is obviously not at all built like Saquon. Can you speak to, is he even exceeding any realm of expectation for a guy who's built the way he is, and how much it impresses you that a guy who's built the way he is doing what he's doing for you?
Yeah, and I think he did a lot of these things last year. Running the ball between the tackles, getting them on the perimeter, and doing things in the pass game. But he's an incredible leader, a great competitor. I mean, those are the two. I mean, the guy loves football, and he loves to be put in those kind of situations. But I think the reason we're able to do, some of the things with Travis that we did with Saquon, even though the physical stature is different, is because of the versatility. The ability to run between the tackles, make people miss when we get them on the edge on sweeps or on screens, and then splitting them out wide and trying to get them matched up on linebackers and safeties, and he can get open, and he has great hands. So when your tailback is not just a guy that you line up in the backfield and hand the ball off, that he could do a bunch of different things, really forces the defense to defend every blade of grass on the field.
Last question, Jared Denny, Scoop Duck on 3.
Hey, Joe, I'm just curious with Johnny Johnson out for the first half against Washington, if that kind of opens the door for Troy or maybe some of those younger guys to get a few more reps in there. Or how do you guys kind of plan to go about not having him for those first 2 quarters?
Yeah, that's unfortunate, because Johnny is a true leader on the team, and the guys look to him for their cues, both vocally and by example. But Johnny is a guy that we cross train and does play both the X and the Z position, and can play the slot. So we're going to have to make up for those reps between Chris playing Z, Dante Thornton stepping up, Mike has played some Z, and with Troy at the X behind Devin. So those young guys, coach has a next man up philosophy that if someone goes down, the person who replaces them is going to do as good or better of a job. And I think our kids believe in that as part of our culture. So unfortunate for Johnny, we're excited to get him back for the second half, but I'm confident that those young guys will step in and do an admirable job.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Appreciate your time. Everybody have a blessed day. All Saints